Hello guys, so this is gonna be my first YouTube video. So matagal ko nang pinangako to sa mga friends ko and sa mga taong nagtanong how to become an ESL tutor. By the way, my name is Teacher Deborah. I've been an ESL tutor for 4 years. I started during the pandemic. So ngayon lang din ako nakagain ng confidence to help others how to become an ESL tutor. Maybe because, yeah, yun nga, 4 years na rin naman. And I was so busy for the last 4 years. I started becoming an ESL tutor when I was in college. So I needed to finish my degree first and take my licensure examination. So wala talaga akong time to make this video. And finally, ito na siya. So let's start. Sa mga gusto pong maging ESL tutor, you can get a pen and paper. Yeah, maybe you'll learn something from this video. And by the way po, this video is made for Filipino aspiring in ESL tutors. Baka meron po ditong maligaw na non-Filipinos. At syempre, you will not understand. I'm gonna speak Tagalog at some part. So I'm not sure if I can put captions or subtitles translated in English. So yeah, maybe this is only for Filipino teachers. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so a guide to becoming an effective ESL tutor, essential skills, tips, and resources for aspiring ESL tutors. Okay, so unang-una, if you want to become an ESL tutor, dapat alam mo kung ano yung reason why you want to become an ESL tutor. Reason is to gain some income. And ESL, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for you. And then next, siguro yung work-life balance. So napakarami kong kilalang nagtatrabaho na sila, maganda na yung work nila. But then they decided to become an ESL tutor. Why? Kasi yung work-life balance dito ay maganda. You have a lot of free time for yourself. You can plot your schedules kung kailan mo gusto. It's in my company kung kailan mo lang gusto. And kung kailan ka lang free time. Actually, sa mga nagtatanong sa akin, "Uy, nagbabakasyon ka, wala ka bang work?" Yeah, dito po sa ESL industry, pwede kang magtrabaho anytime you want at pwede ka ring tumigil anytime you want. So that's another reason for becoming an ESL tutor. And for the last one, syempre po talaga yung passion sa teaching. Napakagandang motivation siya. And siguro sa una hindi mo siya mafe-feel, but yeah, as time goes by, nararamdaman mo na, I really like this. Na parang, ay, ayoko nang umabsent. Parang, ay, everyday, hindi na complete yung araw mo pag hindi ka nagtuturo. Kasi ikaw mismo, mamahalin mo na rin yung pagtuturo and mamahalin mo na rin yung mga estudyante. So, that's the first one. Ano ba yung motivation mo? Bakit gusto mong maging ESL tutor? So, dito wag na natin patagalin. Dito tayo sa skills. So, as you can see, parang napakadami naman itong nasa listahan na to. Of course, napaka-importante yung strong command of English. Oo, halos lahat naman tayo mga Filipino, we have been studying English. In my time sa basic education curriculum, ang lahat ng subjects namin from grade 1 to high school ay tinuturo ng mga teachers using the English language. So wala kaming mother tongue noon. So lahat ng itinuturo ay in English. So I think, I'm very confident na ang mga Filipino teachers ay meron talagang strong command of English. So dito tayo sa pangalawa, patience and sympathy. Ito. Bakit kailangan ng patience? Bakit sympathy, sorry. Bakit kailangan ng empathy? So pasensya, patience, kasi ang mga tinuturuan natin usually po mga bata. So kailangan ng pasensya. Kung hindi naman yan bata, most of them are adults. At tong mga adults na to ay hindi po sila nag-aral ng English kagaya natin na nagsisimula sa grade 1. Most of them nag-start sila sa junior high school na. At ang junior high school ay 12, 13 years old. Tapos wala din silang opportunity to use English sa bansa nila. So 'pag tinuruan sila ng English, ano lang, tawag nito, writing, reading, pero wala silang conversation. So, bakit kailangan naman natin ng empathy? Kasi po, itong mga adults na 'to, 'pag adults ang estudyante niyo, ang confidence nila most of them ay mababa. Kung may empathy ka dun sa estudyante, talagang tutulungan mo sila na maging confident at maramdaman kung ano yung nararamdaman nila. Next is yung cultural sensitivity. Bakit nga ba? Ang mga estudyante sa ibang bansa, merong okey lang pag-usapan sa kanila, meron namang hindi puwedeng pag-usapan. So, one of the most sensitive topic is politics, and then religion, and then gender preferences or sexual preferences. So, sa atin madali, okey lang pag-usapan 'yan, parang ano lang tayo, friendly conversation. But for them, it's sensitive at yeah, maraming bagay na kailangan i-consider. So, when you become an ESL tutor, you also have to be careful. And then adaptability, ayan. So, kailangan kung nakikita mo sa student mo na kailangan niyang i-improve yung isang skill, for example, yung pronunciation niya, pero ang gusto niyang pag-aralan is listening. So, kailangan mo siyang sundin. So, lalo 'pag adult. 'Pag kids madali lang kasi yung parents nila andiyan sa katabi and yung parents yung pumipili ng textbook. Pero 'pag adult, kailangan mong sundin ang request nila kung ano yung gusto nilang pag-aralan, ayun. And then after that, you can suggest na, "By the way, I want you to improve this skill like this, like that." Pero kung ano yung na-request nila sa'yo na gusto nilang i-focus, dun ka magfo-focus. Next is yung communication skills, ayan. Hindi lang teaching skills yung kailangan natin, kailangan din natin yung communication skills. Kasi para na rin natin silang kaibigan. So, hindi lang talaga tayo dito nagtuturo. We have this friendly conversation. Karamihan sa kanila ay pumipili din ng free conversation. And you should be aware of what's happening around the world. Most of the students, alam nila yung mga latest about technology, about the world, kung ano nangyayari sa mundo. So try to research every day, kahit check mo lang yung daily news kung anong nangyayari sa local sa inyo, and then sa bansang pinanggalingan ng estudyante, you can also check, and about the world. So yun lang, check mo din kasi sometimes interested sila doon and they're gonna ask you your opinion about that, and yun nga, communication skills. And then the next one is yung listening skills. Ito napaka-crucial nito when you become an ESL tutor. Kasi maraming estudyante dito, beginner, at nahihirapan pa silang i-express yung kanilang gustong sabihin. So, dapat you listen carefully kasi 'pag hindi nila mahanap yung word na gusto nilang sabihin, dapat tutulungan mo sila na ibigay yon. So, gustong-gusto meron silang gustong sabihin, hindi nila alam yung word na yun sa English, and kung nakikinig ka, alam mo kung ano yung ibig nilang sabihin, and you can give it to them. "Ah, you mean like this, you mean like that?" And then, yeah, they're gonna say, "Thank you. Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to tell you." So, listening skill. And then, um 'wag kayong magpe-pretend na naiintindihan niyo sila kahit hindi. That's a big no, no. Once na hindi mo siya naiintindihan, you can ask them to repeat. It's okay. You say, "Can you repeat that one more time?" 'Wag kang magpe-pretend, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, never do that. It's a no-no." Kasi nararamdaman nila 'yun kung nagpe-pretend ka lang na nakikinig ka sa kanila. So, ask them to repeat. And then organizational skills. Yan. Of course, aayusin natin yung ating mga lessons. Usually naman sa mga ESL schools, provided na nila yung textbook. So you have to prepare in advance na lang how you are going to execute your lesson. Creativity. Itong creativity, usually needed lang naman ito sa mga students, sa mga bata. So you need to prepare your props. You need to prepare some rewards like 5-star, ice cream, mga kung ano-anong pwede nyo ibigay sa kanila. In my case, hindi na ako gumagawa ng props kasi konti lang talaga yung student ko na kids. So what I do is yun lang, yung 5-star lang. And then I try to download some stickers, some sweet foods or kahit anong pagkain, and then i-screenshot ko siya and then ipapakita ko sa kanila sa chat box na here is your ice cream, here is your 5-star, here is your like this, and then nakikita naman nila yun sa screen and they're very happy about it. So it's up to you kung gagawin ninyo yun. And then teaching techniques. Ayan. So ito madali lang naman ito kasi usually yung mga estudyante pumipili na sila ng textbook at kapag napili na nila yung textbook, alam mo na kung paano yun ituturo. Kasi before you become an ESL teacher, meron naman yan mga self-help or meron ka mga babasahin na mga instruction from the school itself, and then yan, malalaman mo kung anong mga textbook pa yung ituturo mo. Meron mga videos kung paano mo yung gagawin. At sample lesson talaga. Merong teacher at merong estudyante, gaganap na estudyante. So, ayun lang, the teaching techniques. Next is assessment and feedback. Okay, no? After kasi ng every lesson, magbibigay ka sa kanila ng feedback kung saan sila magaling. Una doon mo sila sasabihin, oh, you did great in this part. You were able to answer all the questions correctly. You were able to make your own sentences. And then after that, you're gonna give them, I want you to improve this one. And then here are the vocabularies you have learned. These are the phrases you have learned. At dito ka nagkamali, you can improve next time. So it's very important, assessment and feedback. And then this one. So dito tayo sa tech savviness. Siyempre naman, we are teaching online. So kailangan po pag nagturo tayo, gagamit tayo ng laptop, gagamit tayo ng technology. So kailangan meron din tayong basic skills. Kasi po, usually ang mga estudyante, when they're having the lesson, gustong-gusto po nila na nilalagay ninyo, para kayong nasa messenger, nagchat-chat. Halos lahat ng sinasabi nila, if ever, lalagay mo rin sa chat box. Kasi gusto nilang makita kung naririnig mo ba talaga sila, naiintindihan mo ba talaga sila. And then after that, ilalagay mo kung saan sila nagkakamali, saan din sila i-correct. So yeah, yun lang, very, very simple lang naman yung kailangan mong skill when it comes to tech savviness. And ito nga, continuous learning. Ito yung sinasabi ko, kailangan mong i-improve yung knowledge mo. Hindi ka lang dapat teacher, you also know what's happening around the world. So, yun lang. Okay, next. Dito na tayo sa equipment. Unang-una siyempre kailangan po natin yung laptop. Konting-konti lang yung alam kong school na tumatanggap ng smartphone lang yung gagamitin. Most of them po talaga is laptop. Next is, any laptop naman is okay. Merong mga school na nagre-require ng Core i3, Core i5, and then memory. Pero usually, basta laptop, working laptop, okay na yun. Next is reliable internet. Napaka-importante po ng internet when having the lesson because especially kung video and audio classes, audio-video classes, gusto ng estudyante nakikita nila yung mukha mo, hindi ka tumitigil, and then nakikita nila how you pronounce the word. Yes, so kailangan yung internet mo ay maliwanag. And yeah, of course, camera. Sorry, hindi ko nilagay. Kailangan natin ng camera for video classes and headset. This one. If possible po, noise cancelling headset. When I started my ESL journey, gumamit lang ako ng simpleng headset lang. Nakuha ko lang siya sa bahay. Meron lang dun sa bahay namin. Hindi ko alam nga kung kanino yun. Pero as time goes by, na kumikita na rin naman, I was able to buy medyo expensive na. And ito na yung pinakang last. This is Jabra. And ayun, maganda naman yung quality niya. So, laptop with camera, reliable internet, and headset. And the next one, environment. So ano ba, bakit ba importante yung environment natin? So unang-una, kailangan po yung background natin ay walang mga sinampay, walang taong dumadaan-daan sa likod mo. Kasi ayaw po ng mga estudyante, lalo ng mga adults na hindi private yung pag-uusap ninyo. Gusto niya parang sa kanya ka lang naka-focus at ayaw niya may mga dumadaan sa likod. At syempre ayaw ng cluttered. Yeah. Dapat malinis yung likod mo. If possible, white or clear background. Kahit di naman clear, basta malinis lang yung likod mo. And noise-free. Yan. Ayaw na ayaw po nila ng maingay na background. Kaya, you can send me a message and can give you a link. Meron kami dina-download na app. Nilalagay siya sa laptop. That is called Crisp. And ayun, ginagamit namin siya for noise cancelling. So kahit anong nangyayari sa ibabaw ng mundo, hindi nila naririnig yung background noise. Ayun lang, clear background and noise free. And the next one is appearance. So when I started becoming an ESL tutor, I always make sure na mukha akong teacher. Ayan. So, and I usually wear makeup. So if possible, nagme-makeup ako. And kailangan din po kasi sa screen, nakikita nila yung yan, facial expression ninyo. Yeah, this is for female teachers. Red lipstick, lalo sa mga bata. Kasi siya, ah, ah, ba. So, ayun, kailangan nakikita nila yung how you pronounce the word, like I said a while ago. So, kaya po ako laging naka-red lipstick. And at least colored shirts. I-consider po natin itong work na ito as a professional job. So please lang, if possible, is collar na t-shirt or polo shirt po. So, yun. And that's it. I think you're gonna be ready for my next video, and it's gonna be instruction on how to apply at Native Camp. So ito po yung aming company. Disclaimer po, hindi po ako admin dito. Hindi po ako nagwo-work as admin. I'm also an ESL teacher for 4 years already. And it has been a good experience. That's why I'm sharing this to you. So if you want to know how to become a Native Camp ESL tutor, please like and follow my YouTube channel. Thank you.